I made this snowflake ornament with the ACMER Laser engraver and cutting machine. Hey everyone, it's Joy here and welcome to my channel. So the first couple of minutes of this video is going to look a little bit different. I am using the software Lightburn that you can use with the ACMER Laser, the ACMER Laser engraver, and it cuts also, which is really fun. And I'm going to be laser engraving and cutting with some 1mm chipboard for you guys today. And we're going to create this shaker ornament that is a snowflake. So I'm just dropping in my snowflake in here, getting it to the right parameters, which is in the manual, and then I'm going to cut. And I'm just going to show you that. I'm not going to show you all the cuts that I made, but they contacted me about this, and I've always thought it'd be fun to have one of these. So here's my little piece of chipboard, and then I'm going to show that you have this little spacer. This is really easy to use, you guys, because I was super intimidated. My husband helped me, but then it was just like, oh, I could do this by myself. So that's the laser there. You put your spacer down on top of your material that you're going to cut. You tighten it, you slide that spacer out. You're going to close this down. You do need to have a good ventilated area. We literally used my vacuum hose to hook up to it and put it out my window, which really did a really good job. I'm just testing the parameters right now of where it's going to be cutting. You close that lid. You also have glasses, but with the lid closed, you don't need it. It sounds intimidating, but it's so not. And I had a lot of fun doing it. So it's going to be cutting here, and it tells you on the software how long it takes to cut something. I'm just going to show you from the top view down really quick. And I'm going to cut the back of the snowflake. Then I'm going to go into the software and add a circle that it's going to cut in the center. And I die cut see, I'm a card maker. I laser cut 4 of those that have the hole in it so we can make a shaker out of it. But look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Think about all the things you can make. And then I also engraved. I did not show that on here, and I do have a few more projects coming, and I'll probably show the engraving, but I just wanted to show the cutting right now. You will see the engraving afterwards, but it's the same thing. It's just setting the parameters to the right thing, and the machine knows that it's going to engrave rather than cutting. So you can see on the right there, it says Merry Christmas 2025. Think about monogramming for people, making personalized ornaments or tags or whatever. I pulled this file off of Creative Fabrica because I have a subscription with them, which means you can get all these files for free, and they've got a bajillion files. So I just pulled a snowflake tag, I sized it in that software, and now we're gluing it together. So now the rest of my video is going to look like my normal videos, and I'm just going to start layering. I want to glue first, and then I'm going to paint these. So I've glued 3 of my open snowflakes together because the top one I'm going to adhere some acetate to. So I'm going to glue those to that solid back piece. And you could engrave the back of this snowflake because you can cut and engrave at the same time. But I'm going to paint it, so I wasn't going to engrave it that way. But you could engrave another one and add it to the back if you wanted after you got everything painted. But I just knew paint was going to get back there, and so I just didn't even worry about it. Okay, so now that that's dry, I'm going to take the front of my top piece. This is the one that's going to have some acetate behind it. And I'm just using some red craft paint. I'm going to start on the back of the solid one that has all the other pieces. I say solid one. I'm not even sure why I'm calling it that. Probably because all the pieces are adhered together. And I'm just going to put a good coat on there, and then I'll flip it over and paint the front again. And I'm going to get in between all the little arms of the snowflakes. If you like that look of, which I think is pretty, of like that kind of burnt wood, you could leave that there. But this cuts all kinds of things. It cuts, or it also engraves and cuts craft paper, wood, it engraves on acrylic, all kinds of things. I can't remember everything, but tons of stuff. And it's really lightweight and it's small. So it is really a lot of fun, you guys. Okay, I'm just cutting a piece of acetate, and I'm going to place that down. I'm just kind of crudely cutting it. I'm going to place that down and then do a little bit of glue. And then I got ahead of myself and decided I wanted to try to glue the top of this to the back of this without adding any shaker bits. So I pull it off, no worries, but I'm like, oh my gosh, but I was so excited about it because it's so fun and it's such a fun, good size. I want to make another one of these and place like a little cross stitch pattern in the center. Wouldn't that be cute? Like a finished cross stitch, have this be a finish. Maybe take the hole out so it doesn't hang and it can just kind of sit as a decoration. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Okay, so I am using the Distress Snowflakes from Tim Holtz. This is his newer stuff this year. It has mica flakes and his glitter in it. So I'm going to pop that there in the center, and then I can put this back on top. Okay, so let's place that down. And then it dries really quick. I'm just using some good liquid glue, Artis glue from scrapbook.com. I love that glue. It dries really fast and it holds this chipboard fantastic. And you can also cut 2mm chipboard as well. I just didn't have any, so I did 1mm. Okay, so I am going to pull some, this is not twine, this is jute, through the hole there on the top. And then I'm going to thread this through a doll needle. It has a pretty big eye and it's going to help me put my beads on. I'm going to put 3 white beads, and this container is from scrapbook.com as well, and it's like 4 stacks high and they click into each other, like the little side handles click up onto it, and I have all my beads in this, so, or almost all my beads, and it's a fantastic holder. Anyways, let's pull this bead down, and then we're going to do 3 of those, and then I can tie a knot. We're going to make a bow, and we're going to add some little extra stuff to the front of this. How pretty is that? I love this as a red snowflake. My Christmas tree has a lot of red and white on it, so I figured I could hang this on my Christmas tree. But again, if you didn't want it to be a hanging ornament, you could have it as a little decoration that sits, you know, with a collection of other things. Just don't, you know, you would get an image that doesn't have a hole in it, or delete the hole in it. Then I'm going to tie a knot at the top and trim that off. Then first I'm going to glue the engraved piece on the back because I'm going to be adding some stuff that needs to dry on the front. So I'm going to place that right in the center, and this is laser engraved. And I think that's so fun because you can make it say whatever, however you want it to say, whatever. You can engrave images, all kinds of fun things. Okay, I'm going to do a bow here. My husband made this bow maker for me, I don't know, a year or 2 ago. It was really sweet. So I just have some gold ribbon here. I'm going to pull that over from the back, and then I'm just going to tie this little knot in the front. And I'm going to make sure that my knot is centered in between the little, you know, bow part, I guess. And then you just pull it off of those dowels, and these dowels can be moved to make your bow bigger or smaller. And yeah, so that was really, really nice of him. And then I'm going to take a needle and I'm just using some floss for cross stitch, and I'm going to sew it, I use that term loosely, around underneath the bottom of that bead, around that jute. So I wrapped it once, I'm going to sew it around once, I'm going to flip it over, and then I can tie it. I think I tied it like 4 times. And then it's just not going to go anywhere. I didn't want to glue it. I do end up having to glue the jute down to the top part of that little arm on the snowflake. So next time I would probably move that circle up, or the little hole up, a little bit higher. But I just added a little bit of liquid glue and it just held in place. So I'm going to tie a few knots here. And then we can trim the ends of our ribbon. I had so much pretty red ribbon, but it was just too big, and I was so bummed about it because I really wanted to use it, but it was just a little too thick. It looks like in that machine, I think it's about a 6-inch cutting diameter. And this is a little bit smaller than a 6-inch snowflake. So let me get that. How cute is that? And then let's add some fun details. So I'm using Snowfall grip paste from Tim Holtz. This is one of his distress products, and I'm going to do that around all the edges, and I'm also going to do it around that center little circle window. Also, you know what I thought would be cute in that circle window? If you didn't put acetate, you could put a picture of somebody in there. That would be really cute too. Or a cute little saying that you could engrave or whatever. That would be cute inside of that too. But I love shakers, and I thought it would be pretty hanging on a tree and all the lights hitting the shaker material and all of that. So yeah, I am loving this. Okay, let's take a look at this. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's solid, it's thick. It cut perfectly. We have an engraved message on the back, which I think is so fun. I am loving this machine, you guys. I'm really excited that they reached out to me, and I'm going to have some more projects coming soon with this. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.